right, once again, we are back. It is 7 p.m., 7:30-ish. That means we are once again live in the Man Cave. This is Polk, your number one source for Polk County High School basketball. Appreciate y'all rocking with us once again. And um, got a lot to talk about, a lot to unpack, undress, and all that stuff. So want to go ahead and get right to it. But first, I want to say what's up to co-host, number one All-State PG, number one All-State coach. What's going on with you fellas?
Happy Sunday, fellas.
Happy Sunday, happy Sunday. Yeah,
How about
man.
the
So,
Lakers?
huh?
I know,
How about
right?
the Lakers?
Uh, I know we still high off the Lakers, the new look historic win. I know both y'all guys will be feeling pretty good this evening. So I'm gonna go ahead and get started like we always do. PG, I don't know if you got anything in the Tuma's take. If you do, you got it.
Yeah, I do. I asked Billy D this question Friday night, and I think I asked you yesterday. But has technology destroyed Polk County basketball? Well, high school basketball. And say, for instance, that a regional final, I'm used to sold out 6 o'clock. It's a game before state, and I witnessed Winter Haven's game. Not even one side of the bleachers filled up, and then to look at the Lakeland game, the whole side behind the teams was empty. So is it technology with the going live, or is it just that we don't have the marquee players? Is it the marketing? What do you guys think it is that folks just don't come out to support basketball?
I definitely think it's C, because people don't market their product. Um, I do not think it's B this year, maybe in years past, because we actually have some marquee. Well, we got some marquee players um, that folks want to go see. So I don't know if it's necessarily B that we don't have the players. I would say the marketing, and I would say social media, technology, where folks don't have to leave the house if they necessarily don't want to, because so many people will go live, and so it's like, what's the point? But I do think that not a lot of teams promote their product. I don't think a lot of people look at it as a product. You in business, you have to promote your product. You have to advertise and market it for people to come and have an interest in it and want to support it, and sample your product, for lack of a better way of putting it. And I just don't know if our teams across the board either understand that or think that that's something that they should do. So I would definitely say 1 and 3, or A and C. I wouldn't necessarily say B, because I think we got, at least like I say this year, I think we got enough marketable players that people will come check them out. So that would be my take on it.
My thing is that this been happening for some years now, and technology, I don't think it's hurt it because I think it gives people an opportunity to watch games that might not be here, maybe out of state, that are alumni that follow Pope basketball and whatever. But we haven't had the fierce rivalries, and I think like the rivalries are watered down because, like, let's think about Lake Wells, Kathleen. You know what I'm saying? When people were scalping tickets, 20, 30, 40, $50 to get in there. You know what I'm saying? You just don't have those fierce rivalries anymore. And I think the transport portal has watered it down. Because you just don't have, the pride and the loyalty from each programs. And, people, say that they're supporting these programs, but they're really not. They just just piggyback on what everybody else is doing on social media. But I do agree that we don't market it as we should. Um, and I don't think we actually support those kids like we should. Again, I've taken pictures of the Winter Haven girls games and showed y'all like, hey, there's nobody here supporting us, and you actually got a good team to support. Like, why wouldn't you support teams that have been traditionally doing well? I
Yeah.
can't really explain it, man. It's
And you know the thing with social media nowadays, kids are more known than they were back in the day. Like you had good players back in the day, but the way social media, it wasn't. You may not have known they were good. What I'm saying, like Polk County inside the county, you at the park at the rec, whatever. Word of mouth, you knew who could play and what team had what. But as wide bigger spread as it is now because of social media, folks know who you is kind of statewide now. So you would think with how social media has improved how you can reach people, that it would be in the gym. That makes sense. So more people know what's going on, but it's like less people in the gym with more notoriety than it was back in the day. Back in the day, it wasn't as much. The reach wasn't as far, but you had more people in the gym. So maybe the rivalry thing is the deal.
Yeah, I was just gonna ask that. Is it because we don't get the rivalry games that people just don't be supportive of? There's no hype in the basketball. You get it in football because they got to play each other.
mm-hmm.
Most of them because they're in district, but you don't get it in basketball because of the rule that we're not going to play each other. So there's that hurt that we don't have the intense rivalry we've had in the past outside of the Auburndale, Winter Haven.
Let's yeah. If you got the right games, I guess that's a fair point. But if people won't play each other no more, for whatever reason, according to what side you listen to, people don't play each other like they used to. That's why
It kills basketball.
I said that, and it didn't go over well on the air or off the air. I think it's time, and it's not a popular conversation, but I think it's time for, like Black Ass does, the district support Polk County athletics. I think it's time for a mediator. But the thing is, we see it as an issue, but the people that probably see it as an issue don't. So as long as the people that need to see it as an issue don't see it as an issue, it's probably not going to change. But I think it needs to be outside people that have some input on how scheduling is done. Because a lot of coaches, they just won't schedule each other. They don't want to schedule each other. A lot of coaches don't want to play. And, we keep talking about it because it keeps getting brought to us. But, we brought up the thing a couple weeks ago about the whole Polk hoop shootout thing and us picking it. And, it's some coaches that was not fans of that.
No, they shut it down immediately.
There was multiple coaches in the county that was not fans of it. So, we be getting the calls and the texts and the inbox and stuff, and all we trying to do is give folks what they want to see and the kids what they want. But and this may not be popular to say, and I mean, oh well, if I get an inbox or a text, and I just deal with it. But it's, in my opinion, there are a lot of coaches that care more about records and what they got going on than the kids' best interest as far as playing each other. And competition, I thought, was supposed to be like the start, and what it's all built upon is this is a kids' game. This is the kids that are playing. So if they want to line up and play against each other, and it can happen, then sometimes the grown-ups need to just kind of back up and allow the kids to have their their moment. And like I say, that won't go over well. That won't go over well with a lot of coaches, but
very disappointed, man, to see Winter Haven with 4 Division I players, second year in a row, at the White House, top 5 teams in the whole overall state of Florida, and you don't even have 1,000 people at the game. You got a guy going to Georgia, you got a guy going to FAMU, you got 2 juniors at Division I prospects, and you don't have 1,000 people. And they was only doing tickets only, bro. On a Friday night, prime night. Friday night, bro. I never, even though the game was, you know what I'm saying, but
Friday night, nobody else playing. The other 2 teams on the road in Orange County.
I thought the whole Polk County would have been up in there.
Would have been wall to wall. And see, when we say
that scares me with the tournament because they play a 2:30 game.
Yeah. That's going to be tough. It's going to be tough.
Because ours wasn't well attended either at 2:30.
Yeah. So they might not have home court advantage going into that game.
But I guarantee who's gonna pull up 2:30. Oak Ridge people gonna be there.
Gonna let them out of school and everything. Huh?
Oak Ridge people gonna be there. Their school gonna be out, and their people gonna be on I-4, and Oak Ridge gonna be there. 10:30, 30, 9:30 at night. Oak Ridge people gonna be there. Yeah, the coaches. It ain't, and that's what we say all the time. It ain't the kids. These kids want to line up and go against each other. It ain't the kids, it's the grown-ups. And I don't have no problem saying that. Like I say, grown-ups don't like when I say it because I get messages, but it is what it is. And if you're going to have your own opinion about stuff, then let somebody who's unbiased and don't have a dog in the race kind of step in. Not trying to make your whole schedule, but just I don't know. It's just so many ways you can do it. But to answer your original question, I think it definitely is advertising and marketing, and then it's how people are. Social media has kind of hurt when you think it would help, but it's definitely. I definitely don't think it's the players. I think we probably had the most talent this year across the board in Polk County. We had a long time, so I definitely don't think it's the talent, which is sad. If it wasn't the talent, if we didn't have no talent, you would be like, okay, well. Ain't nobody coming because ain't nobody. Because we was talking about the summer. Ain't nobody gonna come watch a game where who you going to see. But we got kids that people want to come see, and it still didn't happen, which is disappointing. But like I said, we start talking about that, and then the grown-ups get a little hot with us, but it'll be okay. Anywho, it's very disappointing, and like you say, hopefully people will change that on Thursday at 2:30. When Winter Haven plays and they actually get people to show up, not just Winter Haven people, but Polk County people, and get they need, not that they want, but that they need, because what's the point of having the game this close in Polk County? I mean Friday at 2:30. My bad, coach. What's the point of having the game in Polk County? We don't have no advantage in the gym. We might well go have it over there in Orlando. Yeah, Friday. My bad. I'll make sure we post the right day, but yeah, Friday. My bad. 2:30. I do got the right time, but I just had the wrong day. So yeah, so Friday at 2:30. That's a true statement. It definitely be more people in that summer league than it be at these games, and that's a statement too. So then when you get there, are they supportive? Are you cheering for the kids? Are you supporting? Because the thing is, when we go on the road, you're on the road when we go, because folks be wild and crazy about their team, and we just don't. I don't know. We just don't do it. So very disappointing. Anywho, moving on. That's true. Summer league, you play the people, and then the regular season you don't. And that therein is the thing. Summer league shows if you will schedule the people, the kids will play. It's going to be a good product, and people will come. So that's your That's your example there. That's your, in court. They say exhibit A and B and all that, 3C, whatever you want to say. That's exhibit A right there. It's Summer League. Anytime the game at Auburndale Rec is wall to wall, especially playoff games. When it was at the Advent Fieldhouse, great attendance. When it was at Florida Southern, great attendance. But I don't know, who we is. We just guys who don't know nothing, them three clowns on the that be on show once a week. We know. Yeah, man. So we swinging the ball around to the other side of the floor, man. Coach's corner, you got anything in your corner, Coach?
Hey, Coach, man, it's only one team practicing this week, right? Only one team practicing this week. So what are the other coaches doing at this point, and what should they be doing, and what should the players be doing right now at this point?
Washing uniforms. That's what the coaches should be doing. Washing uniforms and hanging them up.
I knew that was coming. I knew it was coming before you even finished the question, Coach.
Just don't bleach them. What can you say?
Boy, it's tough over there, Coach.
Use the right this or wash detergent.
Yeah, they should have been wash uniforms.
Oh, man.
Only people played on Friday was Victory.
It's a start. It's a start. Oh, man. Bro, it's a stars. No air dry. Dry your air dry. Oh, man. So once they get out the dry, so what go to the left? The jerseys go to the left, the shorts to the right, or the shorts to the right, and the jerseys and the warm-ups to the middle? Or...
It don't even matter. Or you can just spend a couple dollars and take it to the cleaners.
So, Tuma, when do you start attacking next year? Is a better question.
After next week.
After next week.
Yeah, you give yourself as a coach a good 2 weeks off. Clear your mind from basketball, and then second week of March, you kind of get back at it. That way, if you've been out of it early, you don't give the kids enough break where they can start coming in, getting a day or two, weight room, open gym. Some of them probably had 3 weeks off. Some probably had a good month, the whole February. But you just got to get past the state tournament, and then see what kids are operating on the AAU team and how you're going to schedule and get prepared for the summer.
Yeah.
Clothes wash though.
Once you wash the clothes and so, Coach, can't you? Essentially, the season ain't over with until Saturday, right? So technically, you could still be practicing, right?
Yeah, I guess.
You technically could be practicing. It's not against the rules because you're still technically in season.
Hey, kids trying to get to the state tournament and mop the floor. Get that free pass all day.
Oh, man. So I would say, Coach, like and a couple people said in the chat, nowadays, probably the most important thing you're doing right now, I don't want to use the R word, but you are presenting your program to your kids that you would like to return. Is that a more corporate way to say it? Because who you ended the year with, you may not begin even spring workouts with. Now, we ain't talking about summer and fall. So probably the most important thing nowadays is to identify who's supposed to be coming back and your package to make sure that they come back.
You know what? I've heard several people say that basically you still gotta sell your own self and program to your own kids nowadays. That's the state of sports right now. That you gotta continue to recruit your own kids in order to stay. You gotta sell your program in order to stay. I remember a time where it wasn't like that. And that's the state of sports right now, and that's bad.
And that's the thing. So if you're asking me what would be my answer today, what would be my what I'm doing from now until the end of the season till Saturday is I'm meeting with my returning guys and creating a I don't know, rapport, I guess. Starting the process, starting my retention plan.
I definitely want to bring you to the game if the Polk County team playing. That's easy recruiting right there. I'm in the White House. You at home watching uniform. I need second thought that one, man.
Don't forget to watch the uniform.
Yeah, take that team out there. Take that team out there to see another team out there you want to.
Let's just look at.
But that's a culture now. That's a culture now that those is programs out there where kids see that and that's where they want to be. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, listen, I got a question for y'all when you get done, Coach.
It's just not. Every program and every coach is not great for every kid, but it's just crazy out there right now.
Okay, so how many kids that have transferred in the last 5 years? We keep asking this question, all right? We're gonna go 5 years. How many kids that have transferred have got scholarships? What's the percentage? We talking transfer portal when the portal opens for basketball. Now football we see it happening, but for basketball, outside the wall.
KJ
Parker.
Yeah.
That's 2.
Do we count?
He transferred and came back.
The kid that went from McKeel to Santa Fe last year, he went to Eckerd.
3.
Cooper
Alvin.
Ellis.
Monty say Alvin. That's 4.
Then
look at that percentage and how many players we got in Polk County.
The only other one I can think of is Diego that went to Arbondale.
That's 5. Trey Lane, it'd be 6.
I would say less than 10. If I had to just throw a number, I would say less than 10. If I'm saying less than 10, and how many have actually done it?
It's not many. And you see, we really thinking about that, the stretch to get those 6 that we just named.
And we've had about how many transfer?
Oh, it's been a lot.
A lot. Transfer don't get you into school. Let that be known to all the portal open. Just because you transfer to another school don't mean you're gonna get into somebody's college.
And we know of 2 kids, and once again, we don't, we ain't gonna specify kids, but we know of 2 kids this year that transferred, and it didn't work out for them. They had better careers where they left as to where they ended up at. So, like you say, it works out a lot less than it works against a lot more than it works for. But I just know in today's society, that's what kids are thinking. So if I'm a head coach in today's society, I don't use the R word. I am working on retaining my current kids. I'm not assuming that just because they was with me, we had a great relationship. We had a good run, whatever you want to say. I'm not assuming that means they're gonna be back. I'm going and working on a very attractive retention policy for my program. I don't know about that one. That's a debatable one about it working out at, but I get it. I get it. That's another conversation. Black saying it work out all the time at Bartow, bro. I know you were looking at what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
That's debatable, but but and that's true, Coach Jameson. A lot of kids want to be a part of a program, but most of these kids, when they do leave, they think that they're about to go and some magical stuff is gonna happen. Um, that's a good question about the exit interview, about coaches having exit interviews with their kids. I don't know if that happens a lot. I mean, maybe it does. I don't know if it happens a lot though.
We do it to girls that went over.
Yeah, I mean, you probably can name the people who you could assume or pretty much think it happens to, but it's a lot that I'm sure it don't. So, all right, man. Well, I got this question fresh off of. First of all, we're gonna allow you to speak on it, Coach, if you want to. If you don't, obviously we ain't gonna. You know how that go. We totally get it, which is why we've been purposely quiet. But question. So we got two teams. Well, we got three teams that made it to the White House. Three teams that made 2 girls, 1 boy, 1 boys. So what is the recipe, if there is one, what is the recipe for getting to the White House? What do you have to have? That's the first part of it. The second part is that once you identify things you have to have, can you get there possibly without any of those ingredients? Can you do it without having those things?
Everybody they got a program.
What does that mean though, Slick Willie, as you walk off the air? I know you know, man.
I mean, too, we got a point, man. The teams that made it this year have traditionally had, great seasons. Like Winter Haven has been there before. Lake Gibson, traditionally, they have been good, definitely in the past. Unfortunately, I think they was caught up in a situation where them and Winter Haven and other good teams were in the same class, where we end up knocking each other out. I've been over with the Winter Haven girls for a minute now, and it's just no substitute for hard work. Those girls, they put in the work. They in the gym, 4 or 5 days, 6 days a week, working on their skill. You know what I'm saying? And it's no substitute for that. Then also, sometimes, coach, the stars align, and you get into a weak region where everybody's, not as good, or you hit your stride at the right time and just able to, make a run and get there. But that's just when the stars align. But usually the people that are getting there year after year after year, like Toomer said, they have a program, and usually that program outworks everybody else. You know what I'm saying? And you got to have good players. You got to have great coaches too, and it just all come together. Like with me and John.
Great coaches build a program. Talent gonna follow a program.
Yeah, and it's people that want to come to us because they want to be better. You know what I'm saying? We make sure that those kids get better, and then we give those kids an opportunity to play at the next level. Also, people, sometimes criticize us about the way we play, or, our scheduling, or something. But, you don't want to praise us about how many kids actually go to school from our program. We're constantly putting kids in school from our program. And I think that's the one thing that I'm most proud of, that our kids are getting to the next level and getting their education paid for.
Okay, so
what you keep saying, Coach? You don't say team. You say they get in from our program, not our team, our program.
And I'm not gonna lie to you, Toomer. Coaches call us and be like, "Hey, you know, I just want a Winter Haven kid. You know what I'm saying? Coach, if they there, I want them because I know they're a dog, or I know they're gonna come here and, and be great. I just want somebody from Winter Haven. It's a coach that I know call every year. It's like, hey, we'll give a kid money just because they played in our program.
Oh, college coach.
Don't even have to see him. Yeah, don't even have to see him. Like, we'll give them something, if not a full ride, just because they want a Winter Haven girl from our program.
But I think most coaches don't understand what a program is. It's deeper than basketball. You know what I'm saying? And once it becomes deeper than basketball, like I said, the talent gonna always be there because it's structure, the learning, the work that they put in, the accountability that they are being held on in the classroom, etc. Like, how many kids have you, since you've been there, Billy? How many kids have y'all had ineligible?
No, none.
That's so all that ties to the thing that we discuss when we say programs. Because I'm sure somebody's on here right now saying they always stressing program, but what exactly they mean by program? Again, great programs, talent gonna come. Talent gonna come. Talent want to be there. It just is what it is. Same with the same with Lakeland football. Gotta say, there's a program over there. Kids want to keep coming. They got the training. They got everything that's in place to continue to be in the spotlight, other than just lining up at the field on a Friday night. And with basketball, some people got to understand that. And you start your program off the feeder system of your young kids who's not even there yet. You got to get that crew of kids willing to want to be a part of it. From the time I stepped here in '95, I think it was before that, Barnes, when you were in school, to 2000, early 2000, Kathleen had a program. Kids wanting to be there. Kids who were playing Simp League and all that, they knew they wanted to be a part of Kathleen basketball. Girls now know they want to be a part of Winter Haven girls basketball, LBD. It's going to happen with Red. You're going to have girls in Lakeland that want to be a part of Lake Gibson basketball.
And like you said, a program and culture, you should see the atmosphere during the summer when all the girls come back in the pickup games that I'm able to see. It's so exciting that, Tiffany Hayes, all WNBA player, she comes in and play pickup with the girls. And I see the girls from the past, they actually get in there and they go at it. You know what I'm saying? They work, they continue to come in there and train. And then the pickup games is just out of control. It's so competitive, and it's created a culture there, and I've seen it for myself, and I see why they've been good for such a long time. And then when you have like family members that have played there, for instance, we got Serenity Hardy here as a freshman that led us in scoring all this year. We had our sister that played for us. So her sister come in training and whatever. She used to bring Serenity with her. So we seen Serenity in the gym since she was like third or fourth grade. And we've been training them, all the Hardys. D and Rowe used to come in there and train. They was there. Why not pick a ball and work out? You know what I'm saying? It's just a culture. It's different. And it has produced, great players. And it continued to produce. And I don't see that slowing down no time soon.
So both of y'all mentioned programs. Both of y'all run successful programs. Why is it? I guess two parts. It seems like y'all both make it look easy when we know it's not easy. But why is it not? If it is easy, why don't more people do it? And that's the first part of the question. And which part of those things that go into a program can you not have and still get to the White House? Or can you not have any of those? Without all those, you can't make it.
Coach, sometimes people look up and get a good group of kids in and they can make it to the White House for like 1 year. You know what I'm saying? But it's not consistent. You know what I'm saying? The people that have been making it there in the county has pretty much been consistently there. Like if you talk about Terrence at Bartow, he's been there multiple times. When Haven Girls has been there multiple times. When Haven Boys has been there multiple times. You know what I'm saying? Lake Wells, multiple times. You know what I'm saying? They're able to, break the mold. It's consistency there from a coaching standpoint. You know what I'm saying? It's also consistency that players are coming through there. When you have that consistency, they know what they're gonna get. They know they're gonna get coached hard. They know they um gonna be there together. You're able to get to the White House, on multiple occasions.
So, okay, you called 4 teams out, 3 boys, 1 girls. There are.
I mean, you can name more. Kathleen is another one. They have been there multiple times. Definitely, got to mention them. Um, but I don't know past that.
It's a short. I guess it's a short list. We can agree it's a short list.
Mm-hmm.
And with so many successful people, successful and accessible people right here in Polk County, why are we not taking from each other's cup?
The easiest thing to say, ain't nobody gonna do that. Pride.
Okay.
Yeah, I was about to say that, Coach. It's hard to put your pride to the side.
Yeah.
My thing is that you got to be willing to take things from successful programs and successful people and making it your own. You don't have to copy it. You know what I'm saying? But you can take from here, you can take from there and make it your own successful formula. And that's what we did. That's what I did definitely at Lake Wells. Everybody preach about, the defense that we play, but I stole from everybody. And the backbone, the architect, the blueprint started with Coach Gibbons. But I also had other defensive coaches that were pretty good that I stole from them too. And I made it my own. You know what I'm saying? I've stolen sets from a lot of people that you wouldn't even know about. You know what I'm saying? I attend coaching clinics because I want to get better. Only reason I watch basketball is because I want to get better.
Yeah, I don't think a lot of that happens.
Yeah. People get on us, and we've heard that we got our favorites and we talk about the same people and yada this and yada that. But if the same people keep ending up, who are we supposed to talk about? I mean, when everybody's playing, we talking about everybody. But hell, if they were the same 3 or 4, that was my point, Coach. The same 3 or 4 names keep coming up year in and year out. Who are we supposed to talk about? Who is it to talk about?
They're doing something right, and I'm trying to.
So you mad at us because we talking about
what you're doing in order for me to be better. You know what I'm saying? Like me and McGriff talk all the time. McGriff was, and I told him today, he was instrumental from us changing our game plan from Friday to Saturday. He gave me some information that he saw us do Friday that helped me in the Saturday game plan. I'm forever trying to get better. I'm not too proud to take information from people that are successful.
And success begets success. So I don't know, but we're gonna transition into talking to those couple teams that did, make it. So we had 5 games this week. No, we had more than that. So we'll start on Tuesday. Tuesday we had the regional semis, and Winter Haven started to go 2A up. Well, no, Winter Haven did, but 2A up to 7A. So 2A on Tuesday we had Victory, who beat CFCA. last second shot by Mike Andino. LJ fouled out like 6 minutes ago in the game, and they would still kind of gut it out. Also, 5A on Tuesday, Arbondale lost 42-41 to Tampa Jesuit at home in the regional semis. Tough, heartbreaking loss. Lakeland was at home. They beat Edgewater 65-53, and then Winter Haven beat beat the brakes out somebody 71. Plant. They beat Plant 71-45. So that was Tuesday. So my prediction got blew up on Tuesday because I had 4 people getting to the White House. So we were down to 3 after Tuesday night. Hey. So I was still feeling pretty good. I was still feeling a little good about us. And then Thursday, I'm just going through the week that was, and we can speak on the games how we want to. Thursday, Lake Gibson girls played in the Final Four. They kind of ran up on a buzzsaw in St. Thomas Aquinas, and they took a L, took a tough one. But they made it, so shout out to Coach Red and the program for making it. Today we had 3 boys games and 1 girl game. Winter Haven girls beat Colonial 61-52. Winter Haven boys beat Newsom to death. Ended up being 76-42, but it was 21 zip before the PP even got off the bus good. Lost a heartbreaker on the road to Wakava 67-64, and Victory lost to OCP 62-41. And then on Saturday, it was just hard all week. It was Heartbreaker Hotel. Winter Haven girls in control for much of the game. Gave Dr. Phillips a little early Orange County Christmas present and lost a heartbreaker 47-43. So a lot of games. We can start wherever you all want to start with how things went in the week that was.
I don't care to talk about nothing on Tuesday.
Okay, that week's the way y'all want. I'm just giving a recap. I just do the recap and let you shoot it down like you do it. Then when the smoke clear, we can go from there. So that was the recap as we do. So, and Coach Monty, I read an article today and I just got like mad all over again. They say it's 5 Tampa area teams made it to the White House. Although they counted St. Pete for 2 of them. So they counted St. Pete High and St. Pete Gill. So if we take out them 2, and that's Pinellas County, it's still 3 teams from Hillsborough County made it, and we ain't getting 1 in. I'm just a little blow about that. But anywho, back to the original question. The week that was, where do we want to start? If y'all don't have one, I'll start.
Well, the girls basketball, Lake Gibson came up on the powerhouse, a team that won back-to-back state titles. So, I mean, I know I left not surprised that they didn't win the game. For Thursday on that, I think Billy D played tough Friday night to make it to the championship game, but that wasn't a surprise to any of us that they'll be there. We left off on the last show. Definitely wasn't surprised by Victory. I told y'all before we left, that's a tough place to go play in. Plus, y'all got to realize they had 2 struggling games against Polk kind of teams, so they felt the smoke that they couldn't actually compete against Polk kind of teams now.
Yeah. Plus, also LJ, if you didn't notice, he was in foul trouble both games. So he in foul trouble the first game. They won by last second shot. He gets in foul trouble again against OCP. He's got to be on the floor for them to be successful.
Got to learn how to guard people in scope. That's going to be probably the key thing for the summer, being that you're going to have to play the point guard position. You're going to have to learn how to guard and still be able to manage to get them buckets that he can get. And stay out of foul trouble. Guard smart. Just guard. You know what I'm saying? That's something to learn how to play smart defense. So I wasn't surprised on that. Lakeland's game, disappointed that they showed up at 8 o'clock to play the game, and then watching the game, they were 15 points better than them boys.
Yeah.
That game, bro had 20 points in the first half. He only had 8 in the second half. So, you know, I don't. I talked to him, and he said that that injury that he had bothered him. So, but my thing is that the ending of that game, it could have went either way, and the ball just didn't bounce that way. But my thing is that kid had 28 points, and I would like to see the ball in his hands down the
Okay, my thing too with that is like also Coach Billy D, like we talk about it all year. There got to be a time and a place that you got some strong sets to run in critical situations, and that way the ball can stay within his hands. I don't feel like they had anything. I think all programs should install a flex offense for late game situations and don't
Mhm.
run it, practice it every single day, and don't run it till it's a late game situation. And that way you got kids moving the ball and you're able to get the right buckets or run some type of strong pick and roll that you're able to get. That's something Coach Gibbons always had, even with teams that we had that couldn't shoot. We had a flex that we could run. We called Boston, and we had a pick and roll, and it prevented the ball getting put in the wrong people's hands for possessions. Um, and I think that's what happened for me. I told Barnes it was 3 or 4 bad shots late in the game, and they were threes. That I don't know why they would take them when they was up and when they were down by 1 point, when they were getting wide open layups by driving to the basket. I didn't understand that part of it.
I, you just never know what kids are gonna do.
And that ain't got to do with coaching. That
No,
them
no,
parts is not
and that's
coaching.
what I'm saying because that the same thing happened to us on yesterday. We had a game plan. We pretty much executed a game plan until 4 minutes left in the game, and then kids started to decide, hey, I'm gonna be the hero, or I'm gonna do this, and I'm gonna do that. That's not what got us the lead. You know what I'm saying? And you can't explain it. You know what I'm saying? You really can't explain it, and you try to coach them through it, but those mistakes are critical because we were up and we took a couple bad shots that we shouldn't have took, and we turned the ball over twice in a row and it just changed the momentum of the game.
Yeah, because
So
y'all was up 10. How did y'all lose a 10-point lead? Y'all was up 14 at one point.
in the first half, yeah,
How did y'all
in
lose the lead? Did they press y'all or like
it wasn't
y'all?
that. It was we didn't rebound. First of all, we gave up too many offensive rebounds, and like I said, first half we was executing our offense, putting them in bad situation with our pick and roll, and for some reason we went away from it, and it wasn't. The kids just they gain a confidence from somewhere and just think they got to do more than what's need be instead of continue to do what got us the lead. And that's the risk that you run. You talking about 14-year-old kids to 17-year-old kids, bro. You just never know what they're gonna do. Sometimes it's not like they're not coached to do something. It's just the decisions that they make is unexplainable sometimes.
Yeah, because listen, I was telling Barn, I was like, man, he and them did a hell of a job coaching, and you can't put those shot selections on that. Even one of the kids that don't hit a couple threes, Barn said. So like it wasn't a bad shot in his mind, but
No.
the timing of it was like
Hmm.
down 10, and you hadn't took a three in a whole quarter and a half to take that. I don't know, man. Like you said, you can't kids mentally mindset be somewhere else different. Um, but you can, if it's anything you should be able to do, because they wasn't doubling to get the ball out of row hands, is have a set installed where he's controlling the game. Because he's strong in the half court. He's not an open court point guard. He's a strong half court type of point guard.
Hmm.
And giving it up. I mean, Yeah, that's really it is the basketball IQ part of it, which was lost for Lakeland. But still, I just didn't see them run a set that could properly, like when they was down that stretch. I didn't see them have a set play that they can call out that would have shocked the defense, Wakava, or anything, just to have something to go power. And I don't know how y'all call it. I know from our end of learning, you got a power set where you're going inside. Everything you ain't shooting a three, and that's the set you're gonna run. It's gonna be an opportunity to get to the basket. I think they should have had something like that.
The thing that I was concerned with pretty much watching the whole game is that it always seemed like I feel like Lakeland dominated the game. They had to lead probably 30 and a half or the 32 minutes of the game. But it just never seemed like they was far enough ahead. You felt like Wakava had 1 or 2 runs in them because of the way they shoot the ball, how they play. And like when Lakeland was up 10, you kind of feel like they should have been up 15 in the first quarter. They was up 6 to end of the third. They should have probably been up 10. It's like the people was just kind of hanging around, and it never got too far away from them. Like they were so streaky. They'll hit a three, they'll hit 2 threes. Lakeland will throw the ball away, be 1 or 2 back to back. So it was like clump type plays and stuff. And then down the stretch, like you said, Lakeland just had some possessions that you figure that they would like to get back. And the last 3 minutes, Wakava ran pretty much the same set. They ran a high screen roll with the PG and the post guy, and the PG turned the corner. He ain't looking to shoot. He looking to either get to the basket or he looking to drive and kick. And to their credit, the coach just kept running it. Lakeland wasn't able to stop it. And it seemed like they got shots that they wanted to get down the stretch. And I don't know if Lakeland got the shots that they wanted to get down the stretch. And so,
But I also thought in the Lakeland game, the referees were very involved. And that changed the dynamics also because I think Wakava was in the bonus early in the second half. You
think officiating had something to do with it?
I think it contributed to it also. Like I said, it was in the bonus early in the second half. I'm not saying that Lakeland got to adjust or whatever, but it impacted the game too. Then they had a couple questionable goaltending calls that wasn't called also.
Lakeland don't play disciplined defense though, so you're gonna get high fouls. But you're not playing discipline on defense, bro.
I agree. But I also thought they got fouled on several occasions and it wasn't called. So I agree with that, but at the same time, make it consistent on both ends. You know what I'm saying? It was some illegal contact on the other end that wasn't called.
Yeah, I thought it was in Lakeland favor how they was playing, bro.
I definitely thought that the officials allowed Lakeland to play more of the way they play. I just remember down the stretch, me and Bro kept saying, Rowe got to have the ball in his hand, and he didn't have the ball in his hand. And so to me that I didn't feel good about it because he wasn't touching the ball enough. And he hurt because he gave him 28 on one leg.
28, he did.
He gave him 28, coach, and it's like they had nothing for him. They wasn't trying to double and get the ball out of his hand. He would get into the basket at will. And even when they went to that zone down the stretch, he was still making the right basketball play. Like he was making the right decision with the ball. So their PG had the ball every trip the last 3.5 minutes. And our PG, being Lakeland, being Rowe, didn't have the ball. And I think that was I thought when the shooter they had, the guy that was hitting the shots in the corner, he fouled out. And it was 64-64. I said, all right, we getting into overtime. We get overtime, they top score out the game. But we good. Even with all that doesn't happen, we can get this overtime. We in good shape. And then we had a bad possession. And I'm saying we because it's Polk County. So I'm gonna say we at the minute when we talk about what they. So y'all people that be ready to have a conspiracy theory, please check it. But it's just like you had a shot that you didn't draw up, and it was just unfortunate how the last couple of possessions worked out for Lakeland when they was in control that pretty much that whole game. You rather almost just go in there and lose like what's name did. Like OCP they just dominated victory. Victory they just took it to them. So you can be like, man, we just weren't good enough. But Lakeland, you was good enough. You was better than them people.
Definitely. I mean, shout out to Coach Hendo. They had a great game plan and they executed it, all the way up until, towards the end of the game. And I can relate to that because the same thing happened to us. So, hats off to that coaching staff. Definitely.
That's a tough one, Coach. And so it's like you. Like I say, we're gonna get me done this minute before we talk about Winter Haven. We're gonna give you a chance if you want to speak on it, but you don't kind of spoke. But it's like them the ones that sit with you, Coach. Like them the ones you rather just come on in and get sausage put in you, and just be like, hey man, we just ain't have no business. Like in the words of Monty, we ain't had no business out there bothering them people. But y'all had business bothering them people. So did Lakeland. Y'all.
Coach, man, if you haven't been to the Civic Center before,
man, and it didn't work out, man, that's just tough, man.
If you haven't been to the Civic Center before, man, when you've been there like several times, like we have, Coach, I don't sleep during that time. I'm like constantly, I can't turn my mind off. I'm constantly trying to figure out how to put my team in the right position. Like, Coach, I pretty much probably slept 2 or 3 hours like this whole weekend. Trying to make sure that we had the right game plan going into the weekend. So I didn't sleep the night before the Friday night game. And then the night before the championship game, I probably slept an hour. Then I only slept an hour last night because once I went to sleep, my mind woke me up trying to figure out what could I have done to help my kids, man. And I think we had a great game plan going in and we executed 3/4 of the way. We get to the last couple minutes and we kind of just went away from what got us the lead. But first of all, we wasn't supposed to be there. If you talk to people around, they didn't know, what we had all year long, and they kind of doubted us. So I'm proud of the girls. I'm proud of Coach Johnny and our coaching staff, Coach Starr, Coach Van. They did a great job getting those girls prepared, and it was a great game, though, Coach. It was a great game. It could have went either way, but we definitely feel that we let it slip away.
Yeah, that's tough, Coach.
That team only losses to a team from DC. More than likely, they'll get invited to the Geico National Championship.
Y'all had them beat.
Had them beat.
All right, man.
Right? This they second run up there at the Geico, right? Or they say third.
No. I don't know if you remember when they had Ken Griffey's daughter. I think they went back to back up there. It was Dick's then. It was Dick's then. So they've been before. It's just been a while.
Yeah.
All right. So that was the week that was. We got one team that's still dancing. So Winter Haven Blue Devils started the year #1 in our rankings. We took some flack. They was #1 wire to wire all year long, never changed. And now they have a chance to finish the deal. And they did not draw a favorable Thursday matinee matchup. They do get Oak Ridge on Thursday, right? On Friday. They win Friday. They potentially get the matchup we've been talking about since before the season even started with Miami Columbus. But they got to get Oak Ridge out the way Friday. So what has to happen and I don't know nothing about Oak Ridge, so y'all already know who I'm picking. So we're going to talk, but you already know the conclusion. You know the end of my story, my part of it. But what does Winter Haven have to do?
Out coaching. Talent-wise, they're going to be either equal or a little bit more polished and better. but I think it's gonna have to be out coaching. The streets talking. Streets talking about Oak Ridge is really good. They said Streets been saying Oak Ridge was the best team in Orlando all season over all the teams that was over there. So it ain't like they didn't have it. They just said the coaching was not as strong.
I heard that Oak Ridge was better than their record. I heard that a couple times. There's some few people that's not surprised that Oak Ridge made it. So I co-sign that.
Oak Ridge they've been there a couple times the last couple of years. They got all those each one teach one with the new name now players. They got them AAU players that they be recruiting. So they just as talented.
Cole, what you know about you laugh myself? What you know about Oak Ridge, Coach?
I mean, 2-2 is not lying. They're the Florida Rebels now, and he has his son on there too, which is a pretty good. He's a pretty good kid.
At PG,
go ahead.
You play PG?
Yeah, he played a point.
Okay.
And he's been playing since he was a freshman. I think he's a sophomore now. He's a sophomore now. He started since he was a freshman. So they definitely have high talent that's played on a high level circuit. They can shoot the ball very well, and they usually are very athletic. So they can give Winter Haven problems. I think it's gonna be what Winter Haven does defensively. Dylan will be big, guarding the basket, and just going over there, just staying within what you do, playing great defense, getting out and running, and just allowing yourself to share the basketball. I think Winter Haven will have 4 people in double digits and come out with the win. I think they're more talented and they're more seasoned overall, but Oak Ridge has enough talent to beat them. They can't go in there and not execute their game plan because they can get beat.
I like Winter Haven.
Does it hurt Winter Haven on Friday with how they skipped hop and played double dutch through their region?
No, that they played team ball. I think that polished them for a critical game like this by being able to play team ball because they shared the basketball so good the other day. I mean, Winter Haven just playing at a high level, man. And that first half I watched on both sides of the ball, me and Billy D was sitting there like, hey. And the team they played could shoot the rock. Like they just couldn't get the ball in the right hands to shoot it. I truly think that the biggest weakness that Winter Haven has is they don't have that point guard. They got guys that can handle the ball and bring it up, but they don't have that guard, that PG, that they don't have that baby type of kid, that Walt type of kid. They just missing that, man. Other than that, man, they share the ball. It makes everybody was. I mean, KJ was giving up 3 shots to get the ball down low. Salazar was a dog. Phillips, they get to the basket, but I mean that checkpoint with 2 minutes to go, they ain't got a. They don't have, to me personally, they don't have a solidified point guard that can control the game. They just got guys that can handle the ball.
I don't think they have to. I think it's going to be by committee. That's the way their team is set up.
Man, possession basketball, you don't think they have to? We talking about possessions.
Possession, I think that it'll end up in Jamie's hands.
Can they win?
That kid got a high IQ. He usually makes the right play. He doesn't mind passing the ball. He doesn't mind setting up his teammates. You know what I'm saying? I think that's who's going to end up with the ball in those situations.
So they don't, PG say they don't have a true PG. Can they win state without a true PG? Can they win state by committee?
Yeah, I'm picking them.
Okay. Now, does Oak Ridge press? Do you know? Do either one of y'all know?
Oak Ridge do anything but play basketball.
Yeah, he usually does like a run and jump trap where he just sending people at him. Ain't no method to it. If you ask me, he just,
that Oak Ridge team we saw a couple years ago at the state tournament. Remember when they made it like 2 years ago, Billy D?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're gonna do the same thing, man. They ain't gonna do nothing.
He's not gonna change.
They ain't gonna do nothing that's exciting that's gonna scare you.
See, I'd be biased, but I don't even know what I got, and I got one Haven by at least 8 in Polk County. Um, and once again, I keep saying it because of who they have played at who they've played this year. It ain't like it's gonna be. It's just the next team. It's just the next. We've been playing top competition all year long, home on the road, and so I definitely love them against Oak Ridge. So
Yeah, them guys ain't gonna beat Winter Haven. I don't care. Everybody like hyped up like they gonna pick Oak Ridge. Them guys ain't gonna beat Winter Haven.
they ain't gonna beat
They got
Winter
talent.
Haven.
They got talent, but it ain't gonna come down to it, man. They ain't. I don't think them guys can beat Winter Haven.
Yeah.
They got talent.
I
That's
agree.
it. Why over them?
So Winter Haven get the win in the semis on Friday, and they turn around and Saturday night, prime time, they get potentially. We're saying they're going to get Columbus.
Yes.
What we've been talking about all year long is the long-awaited heavyweight.
Yeah. And that's the game that we want to see.
Go ahead. Go ahead and give us it's coming. We had a whole game, whole show. I know it's coming though. So we got the heavyweight. We got Holyfield, Tyson, whatever you want to call it. We got the we got what we have wanted all year. So Columbus, Winter Haven, Taylor Tate.
But what you can't do is be looking to Saturday. That's what you can't do. You got to win the game on Friday first.
Go ahead, Coach, man. I'm sorry. We just trying to stay focused. You have so many distractions hanging going around. You got to just.
Like I said, you can't overlook Friday. You got to get to Saturday first. And the bad thing is that it's a quick turnaround. You know what I'm saying? You got to either pretty much have a game plan or you got to create a game plan for Saturday, like right away. So it's unfortunate, 7A is the only class that plays back to back. Everybody else get it like a day in between.
Do you think they need to extend it to start on Tuesday and give everybody a day in between?
I think they need to do something.
I was thinking that too. That's tough on them Friday teams. They got to turn back around and play on Saturday.
Mm-hmm.
All the Friday games, yeah. So
they can't beat them guys.
Say again?
They ain't gonna beat them guys.
You don't think when they can beat Columbus?
No, I ain't changing my mind on that one.
Okay. I like Winter Haven, and I've said that the whole time too. And keep in mind, I ain't watched Columbus play all year either, so I'm definitely just real biased. I watched Columbus before and Oak Ridge before when they play them, just so I'll be more versed on it. But this is just me speaking off of being extremely pro Winter Haven. I just, like you said, Winter Haven plays team basketball, and that's not always easy when you got a team full of you got guys that star. So I mean, we talked about pride and ego earlier with coaches and with grown-ups, but probably the most impressive thing about that team is how they have checked their pride for the good of the team and what they're trying to do. But I love Winter Haven because I just think that those 4 guys, will get it done. I think it's going to be a very entertaining game for the fans. That Saturday night, 8:00 at the White House, going to be very. It should be a great game. The only thing that really concerned me about Winter Haven, I'm not concerned about the big 4, I guess if we want to call them that, is the next 4. Because what happened against Lakeland, if we just go back to that game, there were a couple guys that, we won't say names because we don't do that over here, but there were a couple guys that stage kind of probably was a little too big for them. Coach, I didn't think the stage was too big.
No, they just had that. They just was on that stage last year. I don't think
What I'm saying is not. I'm saying not the 4. I'm talking about the other, because remember last year we was talking about those couple guys that ended up with the ball that we probably didn't want them to want them with the ball. So that's the amount.
I'm saying like those guys are back in the position. I'm talking about those guys played last year, so they should have that moment. They should be ready for that moment this year.
But it's guys that's in those positions that wasn't on the stage last year. I guess that's what I'm saying. Like,
when Haven, I thought they returned everybody. That's why I'm saying that. I thought.
Remember now when Haven didn't play everybody last year, coach. Remember they played with like 6 guys, so everybody didn't play. I mean, they was out there. So that's just my question from a strategy standpoint, or just I'm not worried about them first 4 that they're gonna coming off the bench. It's them other 3 or 4 that you're gonna have to play to give you a shot. Are they able to, like I say, they ain't gotta be no star, just can't, be a cause of. Because I think it's gonna be a close game either way. Whoever wins, I don't think that Columbus gonna blow Winter Haven out, and I don't think Winter Haven gonna blow them out. That's a great question, Coach Antbo. We will hope it's Saturday night. It's Polk County. If we say we support Polk County, and a Polk County team is there on Saturday night, I understand you may have to work on Friday at 2:30, so that might be a little rough. But Saturday night at 8:00, you would think that the whole county should be out to support those guys in that program. If we really Polk County like we say we are. At that point, it's not, I live in Lakeland, I live in Lake Wales, I live in Haines City, I live in Mulberry. It's a Polk County team playing. Now, if you got something to do, that's something else. But outside of that, it should be like a home game for Winter Haven Saturday night. They get by Oak Ridge on Friday. Now, will it happen? I don't know. But even like Ms. Jones saying, Tyrese, I guess that's the Mayo's kid. She's saying he not playing. He out, and the Reese kid out. So them 2 guys that played, So, though.
Why they hurt, Billy?
Do what now?
Why are they out? They hurt?
Yeah, they're hurt.
So,
Man. Hey, Woodside and J-Man ain't going to play number 6 people?
That's the thing.
That's what it's going to come down to. They're going to have to come up with a great game plan and have adjustments in their back pocket. They're going to have to make them on the fly. They can't wait till it's too late in order to do that.
Yeah, so if that's my, so you don't matter what.
They're not beating them people, man. They're not beating them people.
Saturday, 8:00, Polk County. The whole county come out. They can't feed out the crowd and get the W. You don't see it.
The whole county was out there 2 years in a row when Lake Catalina played Pace. And what happened 2 years in a row? They not beating them people, man. Sound good. Them people don't play in front of 6,000 people before, man. Hey,
I just want to do it.
I know you guys got to be the good guys. I told
you. What you mean, bro? Like,
if I'm able to tell my coach,
I'm able to like for real though,
he gonna lose to Dr. Phillips. I'm not for good. Real. I can't tell Pohu that they're not gonna beat them people. I just told my coach he wasn't beating them people. And
right. You and I'm not gonna lie to you, and I have said from the beginning about those Boozer twins, bro. And they got other people that can play with them.
Let's break down, because people like Coach Selden saying, people might just think you hating. So why are you saying that they ain't gonna beat them? Why do you feel so strong?
Listen, they got the experience check. They match up with the same. They match up with quality high level players check. They got just as good a team, check, and they got something that Winter Haven ain't got. A solid power 5 point guard and the other brother.
Okay.
Them guys beat Dr. Phillips. Like, listen, we got 4.
And that's what I was gonna say. They got championship
We
experience.
got 4 Division I players, right? They had 3 Power 5 players last year that they had to go up against as freshmen, and they beat them people. Them 3 people Dr. Phillips had last year, when they ain't got that.
Well, that's the thing. I just want people, people just be like, bro, Tuma just hating. But there's a reason why you're saying what you're saying. So that's why after we got done kind of joking around, I want you to be, tell your point out.
They don't both play the national schedule, but these guys have been on that road playing everybody nationally. Everybody. They ain't played like 2 games. They gonna play about 10 or 15 national games. Man, the check boxes all go for Columbus.
So whenever they got no check on the tail of the tape.
Against these guys? No, they got a shooter like KJ. They just check out the boxes that they everything that you think you can say. They deeper than 6 players.
They long. Coach, they're gonna have to put together. It's gonna have to be Winter Haven's best game. Like, you can't be off.
Everybody can be beat.
Everybody can be beat. You gotta put together the best game.
Should have won that game yesterday, and I kept saying they were gonna lose.
Okay.
Was I hating on you, Billy D? Was I hating on y'all?
No.
So PG got Columbus for the championship. The coach got. Did you say, Coach, who you got? You got Columbus too?
I've said that since the beginning.
So both of y'all got Columbus, and I got Winter Haven. And call me biased, I'll take it. But I got Winter Haven.
The thing is, I'm with Tuma trying to eliminate that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm gonna be supporting Winter Haven. I'm for the county.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But when Tuma's, he's exactly right. When you start checking off the boxes, you know what I'm saying? It's tough to pick against that. You know what I'm saying? So, and like I said, with them winning last year against a really good Dr. Phillips team, and then they got players in too to add to what they already had. So, like I said, Winter Haven's
it's gonna be a tough task, but it was a tough task for Winter Haven girls, and Winter Haven girls essentially dominated the number 18 team in the country. Just
you
yesterday,
still gotta watch the uniforms. Hey man, listen. What's even more hell for Winter Haven boys basketball? They got the draw. They got the bad pull of the stick, bro. They got to play 2 tough games.
They got to play 2 tough games.
And we kept saying, like, man, they might get stuck playing Olympia again in the first game, and then back to Columbus. They got the same scenario. I mean, it ain't knocking them. Like, I want them to win. Don't get me wrong. I want them to shock the world, shock me. But if I'm picking, hey, come on, man. It can happen though, bro. Who could have told you that 73-9 Golden State would lose at home to LeBron James in the Cavaliers in Game 7? And it happened. But am I gonna bet on it? I'm taking Columbus.
Okay.
You keep it 100.
Well, yeah, and that's what Tuma does, keeps it 100. And
Hopefully, Dylan, Isaac, Jamie, KJ went up in Winter Haven. We did it for you. It ain't gonna happen. It don't look too good for him. Don't look too good. Hey, your boy knocked off UNLV that year. Things can happen, man.
What they go yell, bro?
What the hell we did it for you?
Man, where you be getting this stuff, bro, man?
Man,
Oh,
it just be
ain't no way
funny,
to
man.
prepare for it, man. It's live, so you can't even prepare. You just gotta. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm sorry. I'm back.
Shock the
All
world. Shock.
right, so we won two. Coach got
Your record being so bad in the tournament, whoever you pick, that shit be going to Iowa. You like Larry Murphy now, bro. I ain't like you like Murph. Murph, when we get to the state tournament before Murph start making it, every team that he picked, the whole section 236 went the opposite. You like Murph, boy. Whoever you pick,
I was 1 for 4, man. But look at. I know close on the counting horseshoes. You know, bro. Lakeland gave the people the game. Arvindale gave victory just got beat. I mean, them people put it on victory, but Winter Haven gave the people the game. Like
no, definitely not, Miss Christian. Y'all would not get beat like y'all did against Mount Vernon. Definitely not. I would say a 6 to 8 point total, maybe 10 at the most, depending on. But they're not gonna beat it. They're not gonna beat us with like trapping and all of that. It's just gonna be a different style of basketball. Like remember, like the matchup situation is interesting too because we saw like I'm not saying that Dylan hasn't improved on the defensive level to go out to guard outside, but if you put Isaac on, if you put who you gonna put on the Bougie boy? He can go in and out. So that's gonna be interesting. Who do you have guard him?
I mean, if it's me, I probably put Isaac on him in order so Dilla can stay around to protect the rim. Remember, they got that other big kid too that's like 6'9".
Yeah, that's what I was saying.
So
yeah, if it's me, I would start Isaac on him. I would put Isaac on him, and let you say because I know y'all say they big kid up. And
so
he
look, so let me ask y'all this question because boy, the Isaac I saw the other night, boy, we gotta have a conversation about player of the year. We just talking about LJ with points, but the way that kid improved, I'm asking the same question I asked about LJ. Can he play on both ends? Is his task? Yeah.
I think so. That kid's a walking double-double, and he's done it ever since he was a freshman on both ends. He can defend. He can defend anybody on the court.
That's why I'm asking it. So he
can guard anybody on the court.
Now I ain't say about guard. Listen, guarding and still getting 20 and 15 is a whole different aspect.
But he has done that. Again, he's a walking double-double. He's a walking double-double. What he was like.
I'm only asking the question. I'm not saying it's not possible.
He was like 18 and 12 last year. And I don't know what he is this year, but I'm pretty sure he close.
Hey, we just watched LJ 29 and 6 and get in foul trouble 2 times in a row.
That is 18
and 12 on me. 18 and 12 don't mean anything when you got to play the number 1 player in the state.
That is facts. I think, like I said before, Woodside and Jamie gonna have to have a great game plan. I think that game plan is gonna have to keep them off guard. They probably gonna have to switch defenses and actually switch people on them. Whatever it is they got to do to get that boy off his game, they're gonna have to do it. Like I said, it might be multiple people guarding him. It may be.
The kid in and out. Now the kid goes in and out, so
he can do it all.
He can do it all.
Number 6 player in the nation for nothing, regardless of playing.
So it ain't like that. That's what I'm saying. The tag. Sometimes you got to defend so well that you got to let somebody else give you those 18 and 12. If that's what you're saying, is Winter Haven a pure man-to-man, pound-for-pound defensive team? So when you're saying a kid like Salazar that can defend on both, he can defend and score, right?
Yes.
You're telling me that Winter Haven is a pure bona fide man-to-man discipline team. So he has that help side. He has those areas where he won't get the dumb fouls. Playing a kid like this that can go post up, that can take you out, that's gonna move around to get the ball, that's gonna get offensive rebounds, all this type of stuff there. So you mean to tell me you're gonna put your best player on this kid and you're gonna take that off your hands? I'm asking those questions, bro.
I think you gotta have multiple people on them. You can't just put.
But again, that's a better point than saying I think it's gonna be the one that's gonna guard this guy for.
He should start on him though. He's definitely should start.
Fine. That's a better way to say it. But if you look at all through the comments, Isaac's gonna guard him. So I'm talking basketball now, bro.
And this me talking basketball. If it's me, strategy wise, and somebody just said it in the thing, they got to guard Winter Haven too. First of all, I'm looking at their stats. And Boozer averaged 21 a game. The brother averaged 15. They got a guard that averaged 10. So they got 3 guys in double figures. They got a guy that averaged 9. If it's me, I'm a guard the big Boozer. But if he get 25 or so, I ain't losing no sleep. Focus would be on making sure that other guys don't get off. I remember, when Bartow had Tony Bradley, that's essentially that was the whole game plan. We're gonna guard Bradley, but he's All-American. If he get 30 and 15, he get 30 and 15. Our thing was number 2 don't get 10, number 3 don't get 7, number 3 don't get 8. We're gonna be okay. And we were able to beat him a couple times with that philosophy. So if it's me, I'm a guard Boozer, but I ain't finna just lose my mind if he go get 25 on us. Hell, he the number 6 player in the country. That's what he do. My thing would be I can't let the 2 through 7 guys get whatever their average is. If they do, then we in trouble. So that would
People
be
talk about him, but the other twin can go too, Barnes. The other twin can really go.
He averaged 15 a game. So let's say both of them. Let's see both of them. Let's say he get his average. Let's see Boozer get 21 and the other Boozer get 15. That's 36 points. So 37 points. 37 points ain't gonna beat us if the number 3 guy only get 3. Number 4 guy get 5 or 6 or 7. So them the headline guys, and they can get it. We know that. But them 2 guys alone, I don't think can beat Winter Haven. They're gonna have to get some help from them. So if it's me, I see Bro finna get the black screen, but if it's me, my game plan is to take away after the Boozer guys. I'm a guard the Boozer guys, but I ain't gonna lose no sleep. But you can't let other guys, the what the guy said that one time in the barbershop, the side pieces. You can't let the side pieces sneak up and bite you. Because that's where you can lose it at. You know what you're getting from the twins. It's what the other guys gonna do. So that would be my focus to take away anything not named Boozer.
All right. So let me ask you this: when y'all played the Tony Bradley teams, right, and y'all made sure, was your teams a man-to-man focused defensive team?
Yes.
Okay, that's the key. Is I'm gonna ask y'all this: I haven't seen Winter Haven as much. Is the Winter Haven I saw last year? There wasn't a man-to-man pure bona fide defensive team. There wasn't a Winter Haven girls type of get after the Bartow boys type of defensive team. All right, they didn't have strong. Those guys we're looking at were not solid as all on defensive because we saw them get ripped up in the state tournament. Correct. So now you're facing a team that has not only national players, these kids we're talking about, they play basketball well together again. So is Winter Haven a better defensive team now, man to man, to play that type of style, or do they come up with a game plan? Because if we're talking the way we're talking, I'm gonna take Columbus all day. Because all y'all saying man to man to man, and when I can't see four guys out there on Winter Haven team, the 4 stars. They can go out there and just guard man to man. So who we putting on the other bougie boy? Since Salazar got to guard the other one, who we putting on him? Because those two other guards we got, they're not quick on their feet to go guard these guys for 32 minutes. When y'all saying Salazar gonna guard him for the whole game, yeah, y'all, we got to get some points on this when we just saying, oh, Winter Haven gonna beat them guys.
I don't know if I would play them. But the other big guy for them ain't really doing nothing. From what I'm looking at for stats, I don't know if I wouldn't start with Salazar on the one boozer and Dylan on the other one, and put Jamie on the big kid. The big kid ain't stronger than Jamie. I ain't never seen it.
You just gave up a different coaching strategy, right? Then everybody in this group saying Salazar gonna guard their best player. So you're gonna take your best player and go have him go guard their best player, and he's still gonna give me the 20-15 on the other end.
I would start on the PG.
Winter Haven cannot guard the way y'all talking. Like I'm not you, I'm just talking period. Winter Haven does not play disciplined man-to-man defense the way everybody's talking, because last year I watched them get ate up, and they took Dylan out to the wing, and them kids just ran around them. This team is going to play basketball the same exact way. They got high IQ basketball players, bro. They don't have this guy out there just, I'm finna give you 50 one-on-one. That's not what you're getting from the Columbus team. You're getting basketball. So the strategy can't be man-to-man when you're not 100% disciplined playing attacking full court man-to-man defense. Now y'all
they're not going to play full court man.
I'm not saying play man the whole game. I wouldn't play him. I wouldn't play a man the whole game. I would. I thought one of their best defense last year was 1-3-1, and they didn't do it. They didn't do it as much against in the state that I thought they probably should have. I don't know. I think
there's nothing X factor about KJ in this game with one player, bro. Just speaking on the post by he the X factor. But they got to figure out how to guard them people the same exact way. Like these people don't play plenty KJs, Dylan's, Isaac. They don't play them all year. Yeah. You see what I'm saying? So that matchup with that matchup concern for them is not a threat as much as we're looking at it from the basketball end of how Winter Haven style of play has been. Winter Haven has not been a team that we're used to seeing Polk kind of wise that's very disciplined on defense. So the X factor about KJ getting 15, 20, it's a totally different breakdown of the game. It's the only reason why I say I'm not going to pick Winter Haven to beat this team. If Winter Haven had the same style of Bartow played and they were more than 6 deep, I would say, man, they definitely got a strong shot. But y'all telling me 2 of their good defenders off the bench ain't even playing. So they got to come up with a whole nother strategy outside of Salazar talking about guarding Bougie. But what if he get 2 fouls in the first quarter trying to guard this guy just to show pride that I can guard him?
Yeah. And Coach was talking about stats earlier. Like that big kid stats doesn't match up to his ability because he's able to change shots. He's big on the offense and defensive boards. And he came in, he took a hit, just in order to play with that team. And we talk about the kid that's averaging 10. That kid's a shooter. So he can get hot at any time. He can actually really shoot the basketball. You know what I'm saying? But you're playing on a squad that's a national level squad. So you pretty much averaging, you got 4 people averaging almost double digits. You got the other one that's in at 9. So, and I've watched them play on TV against some of these top teams, and, they beat Bronny James them. They made it to the championship game of City of Palms. So it's
I'm not saying it's gonna be easy. It definitely ain't. And we asking like what a game plan would be. First of all, my initial thing would be I'm limiting. That's my game plan. Now whether it happened or not, I'm limiting anything not named Boozer. First of all. Mm-hmm. Secondly, I'm not gonna just play them man to man. I'm gonna do different things on defense, and then I got some guys that can attack, so I'm attacking them. It's like they got to prepare for us too. It ain't like we just got to prepare for them. So and all that's not work, but I'm just saying, if we coming up with a game plan that's my game plan. It's
Who are
going to
the
be.
attackers? This is a more comfortable game for Columbus. Who are the attackers for Winter Haven?
I think Isaac attacks pretty well.
That's one. I agree.
I think Jamie is a better off the post than
He's not an attacker.
not driving from the wing.
That's what I'm saying. So like that's why I'm just trying to give my breakdowns on the reality of this game and why I'm picking them. Because people, again, y'all say people gonna say I'm hating. Everything that you're saying, Winter Haven doesn't have that. That's the thing that's missing. Like, you know what I'm saying? When you say attacker, that's a threat. That's a major threat. Isaac is a threat.
People talked about X factors. I think the X factor is actually Dylan. You know what I'm saying? He hadn't had a lot of explosion games offensively, and I think the matchup is who's going to guard him, and will his trade ball come into play? You know what I'm saying? I think he's the one that's really going to have to, put the ball in the hole in order for them to get over that hump to beat them. That's just
I'm
me.
mixing it up. Defensively, I just feel like I got to mix it up. I got to throw different stuff.
I got to throw at least 3-4 defense at them.
1-3-1 or whatever they do was strong with the. I just can't play man to man saying I'm finna have Salazar guard the Bougie twin.
I definitely agree with that.
Again, but that's why I say like I lose sleep over that stuff. I have plan A, B, C, and D. You know what I'm saying? So
I'm sure they're gonna have it. I'm hoping that they have it. You know what I'm saying? That they do plan for that. They still got to get past O-Ridge, but I'm talking to the people in the comments who were just saying this is what's gonna happen, and then they forgetting about this is a basketball game against a powerhouse basketball team, bro. And when you say those type of things, I'm gonna ask the question. I'm gonna ask the question that nobody wants to ask. I'm gonna bring reality in. Like, you can't just say what you're saying and feel like it's comfortable. Just like you say the attack, I'm gonna attack those guys. Winter Haven don't got attack players. They got skilled basketball players. You take Phyllis strength is posting up, finding mismatch and posting up. Has that changed in a year? He dominates that way, and he can hit a big shot deep, but he's not aggressively doing what Roe did to those guys in Wakava. Winter Haven don't have that. Unless I'm blind and I don't miss something that I ain't understand about the skill set of their team. So for comfort zone, this team saw a Dr. Phillips team that had that last year with the kid that went to Florida. They ain't got that. They don't have to worry about that threat, because if I'm guarding Salazar, he gonna have to shoot 15 jumpers. If I'm guarding him, if I'm coaching against that, man, show me you can shoot. I'm gonna match up zone that to Dylan. Show me you can shoot. And I'm gonna follow KJ, and I'm gonna make sure that Dylan ain't got a wide open contested three. So I'm looking at all this stuff that y'all saying. They don't have that, bro.
I just think that them people gotta guard Winter Haven too. And I would play. Say again now?
Winter Haven strength ain't running sets either, bro. Their strength is finding a mismatch. Has that changed, Billy D? I'm the guy that's gonna ask the question that I'm seeing from the basketball side. They find mismatches, man. They try to figure out who on the small guy on JP. They're gonna put JP in the post. They're gonna abuse him, right? They're gonna move KJ around the area and get an open look for him. Salazar gonna be the one that can bring it up top and just go. Like, I'm asking these questions that in reality they don't have those type of. They ain't got them killers like that, man. Now if KJ get hot, he can change the whole game plan, right? But still, they don't have that. What I'm asking about.
I wonder what Palmetto did, because clearly they just lost 2 weeks ago in the district championship. So that would be interesting to see what they did. But I do think, like I said, that Winter Haven, and like I say, for me, it could be unbiased. And I know I saw what who that Shane said, I gotta take my Polk County bias off. I can't do it. I can't do it. But I do feel this Polk County bias probably is the most legitimate one from a basketball perspective because Winter Haven has the ability to beat these people. I mean, putting it on paper, then going out and executing it is two different things. But I don't think that Columbus got nobody that can stay in front of either. Just like we saying that they're gonna have trouble with the big boozer. I think Columbus gonna have trouble with Isaac, and I just don't see nobody being able to stay in front of him and getting to the getting where he wants to get. I could be wrong on that.
Yeah, that's the difference. What you're saying now, for me as a coaching strategy, I'm gonna put. I would be willing to put the 6'4" point guard on him and force him to shoot because he just ain't gonna go. That guy don't play big size guards. It's different things, and he can't nobody stay in front of Salazar, but can Salazar hit 5 jumpers in a row?
Like I said, it's gonna be a chess match by the coaches.
And the thing is, it's Columbus like you said something like UNLV earlier. It's Columbus like a UNLV where you take away the PG and the rest of that stuff crumble. Cause the Boozer twin don't play point guard. He play the 2, right? He don't play the 1.
No, you don't play the 1.
Yeah, so if you get the PG out the game, then things change. And I don't know if that's what happened. I don't know if the Palmetto people went at the PG or whatever. But clearly they did something and they beat them. If Palmetto was the one, Columbus was the 1 seed, Palmetto beat them. What in their own gym had to?
Yes.
Yeah. So something Palmetto did.
Man, we need to share that link. I mean, anybody can be beat. Let's keep it real now. It's possible. I just think that's a tougher task for me to say all year just change my mind.
No. It ain't about, we know you've been that way the whole game, the whole season.
The whole year because it's just a tough task for me to just change my mind off of what I've do I want Winter Haven to win? I want them to win. I don't care about no Miami school. But in reality of if I'm looking at Vegas and taking the spread, it'd be tough to just pick Winter Haven just off the base because it's Polk County.
Where's Palmetto from? I mean, what's their name? Because
it's Miami Palmetto. It's down in Miami.
They don't call it Miami Palmetto, right? I'm trying to pull them up on Match Press. It's not coming up.
Yeah, they washing dishes. They ain't even washing uniforms.
Yeah, they've been washing.
No, I'm saying I'm trying to pull up. Well, maybe I just pull up Columbus schedule and see.
Yeah, it's on there. They beat them in overtime.
So it's like Apollo Creed. It's like
Palmetto Panthers.
Ivan Drago. He hit him. He cut him.
Yeah.
When Rocket cut him, it was like, hey, nobody thought they can cut the rush until they cut him. Then they were like, hold on, he bleed. And once you saw that blood, I ain't changed. Ain't nobody pick Rocket.
Saturday. Any given Saturday, somebody can be beat. You know what I'm saying?
Did you pick Rocky?
Huh?
Did you pick Rocky against Ivan Drago before he cut him?
What we just saying that when we got a tall feet in front of them. Like we played the number 18 team in the country, they're about to play the number 10 team in the country.
Hey, that same Palmetto team, they put a running clock on, man.
They beat them by like 40 and 30 the first 2 times. That same Palmetto team, they beat them by like 40 the first time and like 30 the next time.
Somebody had to have COVID. These people been blowing everybody out, man.
I'm looking at this Palmetto game. So the Palmetto game, the little Boozer had 27. The guard had 14. Big Boozer had 12. Palmetto had one kid had 28. One kid had 26.
Kids probably had the game of their lives. You just never know.
And the only other kids had like 6, 3, 1, and 2. So they had 2 that got off on them. So the one Boozer, the little sophomore had 27, 8 rebounds, 3 assists. Big Boozer had 12, 14, 4 rebounds. He fouled that.
Yeah,
Jake Boozer fouled that.
they said he was in foul trouble that game.
So that's what I'm saying. Make him. Has he guarded people? He killing people. He can't be guarded, but can he guard people?
I don't know.
We'll find out on Saturday.
That would be my thing. Like you gotta see about us too. You know what I'm saying? And if they beat us, then they just beat us. But y'all gotta see about us too. And like that game, 27, 14, and 14, and no did nothing for Columbus. Somebody had 2 points, somebody had 2 points, 5 points, and 0. They played 2, 4, 6, 8 guys. 3 guys scored double figures.
And they got Miss Savannah Shaw Columbus gonna beat them people by 30 or 40. Run the clock. Whoever they play on Friday night.
No, they Winter Haven definitely got a. I think Winter Haven gonna beat them. I think Winter Haven gonna beat them biased, and I also think that Winter Haven. I know Polk County gonna show up. That's me putting it in the atmosphere, and I think they're gonna feed off the crowd. I think I's gonna have a huge game. I think JP gonna have a huge game, and KJ. I think all 4 Winter Haven guys get in double figures. I worry about their bench. That's if I had a concern, it would be their bench. You know, what happens after the 4 guys. I like the 4 guys. So Palmetto had to do something. They got beat by 27-40, then they won. Whatever. If it's me, I'm on the phone with Palmetto. Hey man, what y'all did? I don't know if they got day kind of thing where they don't let stuff leave the county like we do, but they have to tell me no. I'm sure I'm gonna ask. And if I got NFHS network, hopefully they recorded it. There's got to be some way to get that footage because to make up 40 points, you had to do something, and you did it in the people gym district championship. So. Anyway, so that's what we got, man. So we got 1 team left that's still using their uniforms. Everybody else done put them up. So Winter Haven Friday, 2:30, they have what they got on Friday? Oh, Oak Ridge. They got Oak Ridge on Friday at 2:30. Columbus, for you all that want to see Columbus, they play the game before Winter Haven. They play Colonial at 12, and then the winners of both of those games will play Saturday at 8 p.m. All at the better known nowadays as the RP Funding Center. So, yes, sir, Newt. We know we got to line it up. That's what we're saying. They got to line it up and get between them lines, and they got to prove it. I just like Winter Haven, the PG and the coach like Columbus, and so we'll see how it goes. So. Coach, before we get off, we give you one more chance. Anything you want to say about yesterday of the season for your girls? You don't have to. Just want to give you that before we jump off, give you a chance to speak on it since, I know you wasn't going to do it on your own, so I'll give you a chance if you don't.
No, just know it left a bad taste in our mouth, and that's going to drive all the next season. So we'll get the kids a week or 2 off, and then we're going to be back in the gym.
Okay. All right, man. Well, that's all we got for this week, man. So hopefully y'all get out there, man, if you're able to go support the Winter Haven Blue Devils as they attempt to bring home the state championship county. Oh, we can get one out the deal, man. We want to get one out the deal, and everybody else that's starting up travel ball season. I know a lot of teams are starting to try. Some people are playing games already. So good luck to you all as well, with your getting ready for your mid-season before summer and all that kind of stuff. All right. So thank y'all for rocking with us tonight, man. We appreciate it. We do not take it for granted. Thank y'all for participating in what we do for the kids, for the coaches, for the county, even though we sometimes get criticized, but we just take it all in love. They even criticize Jesus, so why not us? So in any event, man, y'all be safe this week. Good luck to everybody. Winter Haven guys, please make sure y'all do what you need to do so you can be available, like Coach said, be available for your people Friday, finish the deal. Amazing season that you guys have had. Shout out to Lakeland High School. Shout out to Victory High School on great seasons. Shout out to Winter Haven girls, Lake Gibson girls on great seasons as well. And until next time, Polk Hoops, we out. We appreciate y'all. Y'all be safe. Y'all be blessed.